Bad Santa for 2003 is probably the best R-rated Christmas movie ever made. There's not a lot of them, to be honest, but it's one that actually gets the holiday while also being very cynical and very funny at the same time. Now, for some reason, like a decade later, I don't know why, they decided to make a sequel. A sequel that nobody saw, because it made jack shit money. We're going to talk about that one. So this movie ends before it begins when Willie, who's the bad Santa, decides to kill
Marcus Thurman, is that you? Is your name Thurman?
Yeah.
Thurman Merman?
Yeah.
So I guess he doesn't die because the fat kid, whose name is Thurman Merman. So the kid, whose name is Thurman Merman, decides to be in the movie for no reason, because they don't use his character at all. Like, he's there for like 20 minutes in the movie, despite being kind of a main character in the first movie. So if you didn't remember, in the first movie, Marcus is the elf guy. He betrays Willie here because he wants to kill him because he's a shit partner, basically. So you would think if they ever come attached again, they would never want to meet each other, or they want to kill each other, basically, because one tried to kill the other, one fucking hates the other for being a drunk asshole. But that's not what happens in Bad Santa. So immediately, 6 minutes into the movie, Marcus comes back, is like, I got out of jail for free! Like, that's his explanation. Not really good. They had no space. And of course, they make a joke that he's short, and he should have a lot of space for him. All of a sudden, they team up because that makes perfect sense, you know. Years pass, but they still team up as soon as he gets out of prison. Why would he even want to see Willie again? They fucking hate each other. It doesn't make any sense. So in case you're wondering, no, Willie did not change from the first to second movie. I guess it makes kind of sense, but at the same time, it's kind of like, really, what do you do the exact same thing again? Especially since the ending is like, no, he goes back to not being a jackass or something like that. It's really stupid. It's like, oh, the one girl ditched him. I mean, I guess that makes sense, and he starts peeing. The kid didn't ditch him for some reason, and they try to have a message about, like, you know, he has to find a new family or some bullshit like that. But it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, if he's going to be an asshole after the first movie still, even though he basically got a second chance, and he still fucks it up, then what's the fucking point? Oh, and before he leaves, do this heist mission, he tells the stripper from the first movie, yeah, fuck the kid, because he's like 21 now, and he'll pay you like $20 or something like that. Or it goes on for way too long. They basically just describe what sex is to the kid, and it's not funny.
Start tugging on your little soldier. Wait till he gets to attention, then poke him in there. Keep poking it in there till he spits up.
Yeah, there's like a 10-minute scene of him describing what sex is. Maybe not 10 minutes, but it's like, really? So, Bad Santa 2 decides to ditch the location of Arizona, which is a very unique Christmas movie location, and he goes to the most generic location of Chicago. You know, the place that pretty much a lot of Christmas movies are filmed, like Christmas Vacation and Home Alone. You know, very unique location. And instead of robbing a mall, they're going to rob a charity, which they have nothing problem with that. Well, Willie has a problem at the very end, but then he doesn't give a shit the rest of the movie. Well, that's okay, because Marcus here, he has a subplot where he wants to fuck this girl because he likes her fat ass. And that's all he does in this movie. Yeah, one of the main characters of the first movie just wants to fuck a bitch. He fails miserably and does the exact same thing he does in the first movie. And we'll get to that when we get to that. So Willie decides a good idea to showcase that it's okay to beat up a woman, especially if it's your mom. But it's okay, you know, because his mom is a bitch. She is played by Kathy Bates, and she does an okay job, but the character is kind of stupid. Remember in the first movie where he hates his dad? Well, it turns out he hates his mom as well. So if you can tell, the plot here kind of sucks. So his mom was like, let's rob these bitches. But then the midget guy, who's like, I don't like Willie, I'm gonna kill him. And the mom's like, actually, I'm gonna kill him. And Willie's like, I actually don't want to rob people. I actually want to help out this charity, I guess, because I fucked the person in charge of it. So this will be Bad Santa about Bad Santa doing some Bad Santa things. So Bad Santa here beats up another Santa because he claims he's a pedophile for some reason, even though he's not. Hey, can I even say that word on YouTube? A predator from TCAP.
Be probably the cleanest, best pleasure, I would say.
The cleanest, best pleasure is to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Yes, sir.
On the ground!
So much like Cody Green there, Willie also gets arrested, but no one takes his claim of the fact that our Santa was a pedo at all, because even though he keeps mentioning it, somebody acts like, yeah, maybe he was, even though he wasn't, seriously, but it's never mentioned. It's like, what? I don't get it. Also, this one guy here is cheating on his wife. It's not really important, but it just like, gives an excuse, like, oh, it's okay for Willie to screw his wife because he's cheating on his wife, or something like that. This character is barely in the movie and makes no. So Willie here bonds with his mom, who basically just calls him shit stick over and over and over and over again. I'm not joking, that's all she ever says. You're a shit stick, son. I hate you, but we should work up and team together. That's the whole movie, and then, uh-oh, she betrays him. Who would have thought? I know he's not the smartest guy in the world, but he's even dumber than he was before. Oh yeah, probably what happened to Marcus. You know, he's the main character of the last movie, and he was kind of the villain of the last movie. But now he just wants to fuck this girl, but she's like, I don't like short guys, and I want to be wine and dine or some bullshit like that. Yeah, he does not fuck her, if that's what you're wondering. He fails at doing so, and that's his whole point in the movie, is basically. So for some reason, the head of the place is some reason charmed by Willie here. You know, all he talks about is how he wants to fuck and screw everything and get drunk all the time. Like, what a great guy. At least in the first movie, the woman just seemed to really be into the Santa thing. And, yeah, but here he just seems like a really shit person. Like, a complete asshole, so why would she even be into him? Also, can someone tell me, is Billy Bob Thornton attractive? Because I don't find him attractive at all, but somehow in these movies he always seems to get with really hot women. Like, what the fuck? This dude looks like a fucking grandpa his whole fucking life. And he's somebody screwing at like a bunch of famous hot women. Like, what? Also, his mom's in the toilet. That was very important for us to see. But yes, this movie reminds us that it is a bad Santa movie, and there's very little of Willie being a bad Santa. We get a reprise of the original movie with him having to be a Santa. But even here, it's not as funny. It's like he doesn't really do as much funny shit. It is an okay scene, but at the same time, it feels kind of pointless to the whole narrative. And it's really not as funny. Like, he barely... I mean, I guess at this point, he's not wearing the beard there at all, but you know what? At the same time, who the... Oh yeah, this one woman here springs and gives him a hand job. Don't know why, but it just happened. Oh, and his mom gives him a gun and says, if the little midget guy shoots you again, here's a gun. Oh, and there's more sex scenes, of course. Oh yeah, the character Thurman Merman, he came all the way to Chicago just to say hello, and then basically as soon as this happened, it's like, I'm gonna dump you off somewhere because I don't want to deal with your shit ass and your bloody... So he gets dumped off at some, like, homeless shelter, a bunch of people dressed as Santa, one of them's masturbating, apparently. That's supposed to be funny, I guess. Not really. He also never explained what happened to the kid's dad. I mean, his dad was in prison, but it seemed like he was gonna get off not that long time, so... You know what I mean? He was going to get off in a couple of years, so what happened to his dad? I know what they said his grandma died, but what happened to the dad? I don't... So Willie thinks it's a good idea to screw the woman that the Marcus guy wanted to fuck, because he needs to get the key, and he thinks it's a good idea to do some anal as well, apparently.
Holy shit!
So it's heist time. They're cracking in the safe again, like always. And once again, Marcus thinks it's a good idea to pull a gun on Willie. So it is funny if they had both guns pointing at each other, but it would have been better if it wasn't established they had a gun already, so you already know he's going to pull a gun out. If you didn't know Willie had a gun, he's pulled a gun out like he was ready for it. Would have been a lot funnier and more interesting of a character rather than his mom's giving him a gun, because apparently he's stupid enough not to think that he's going to get betrayed again.
You know, the old lady's right. Not so big now, are you?
But uh-oh, his mom betrays him too, so they all have a gun pointing at each other, because they all hate each other, and they all want the money. Well, Willie doesn't want the money more, he wants to get back to the charity. Like, what the fuck did you do this in the first place, if you're gonna do that? I don't get it! He's like, I gotta make a new family, and I want the kid to be my family, even though I had years of basically being around him, be just considered his dad or something like that, because his dad doesn't exist anymore, but now I'm his dad or some bullshit like that, and I want to fuck that redhead girl because she's hot as shit, and she wants to fuck me for some fucking reason, and now I don't want to help you guys anymore. You know, I helped you guys for no fucking reason, even though one of you guys tried to kill me, and one of them is a mom I fucking hate, so I don't fucking... But yeah, there's a Santa convention where the mom tries to hide, and then Willie dies. Just kidding, he was getting a hand job again. So the movie ends with Willie deciding that it's a good idea to put balls on Marcus's face, because he said he did that earlier in the movie. And they do show it, and I can't show it. It is kind of funny, but it's also kind of fucking stupid. And that's how the movie ends. Bad Santa 2 is a pointless sequel that no one remembers, and no one wanted to see. It made a terrible money at the box office, and so far it's one of those movies that everyone will forget about. And it's only a movie to watch out of curiosity. It's so pointless. It doesn't add anything. Like, oh, here's the characters again doing the same things, but less of that and more unfunny and more vulgar, just for the point of being vulgar. The first movie, like I said, is very vulgar. But here, it feels like none of the jokes have any payoff other than, here's a sex joke, and that's it. And they do that joke way too many times. And it's not really funny. And like I said, the characters just don't make any sense in this movie. They don't develop at all. I like characters that progress and develop. Here, the characters are even more stagnant than they were in the first movie. And a lot of the charm is pretty much gone. None of the original people who made the first movie or even involved with this, other than the actors who obviously returned. I will say that, they brought back the actors, and there's some funny moments, but overall, it's like, what was the point of this movie? Matter of fact, I'm going to lower my rating there. I don't know why I gave it 6. it has some entertaining value, but at the same time, it's so pointless. Like, watch the first movie and skip this sequel. That's all I gotta say. Merry Christmas, and watch better Christmas movies.